I still feel stronger, but yeah, bro, I feel stronger. But yeah, weight-wise, I don't feel like I'm heavy or slow. I still feel fast, which is good. Sometimes might not look it, but man, trust me.
Yeah, he looks sharp, looks a bit thicker. I think his intensity's been raised a bit this camp. From what I've seen, his intensity has definitely been brought up. And yeah, like I said, he looks bigger. As far as everything else goes, it's the same Israel as far as what he needs to do and how focused he is, and with everything he does. I think these hours that he does with Andre are pretty significant. Just overtime repetitions with everything, and just kind of the more individual broken down things and how they go about it is really good. Yeah, his offense and wrestling continues to impress me, with what he can do. Head outside, head inside, double legs, climbing the back, body lock type positions. Again, Israel's a complete MMA fighter. You just don't always necessarily get to see it. I reckon this is the time you will see it. Volk with us in to finish up camp for the big fella Israel. So yeah, he got in Sunday. Training in the mornings, training in the evenings, in the same spot at the same time. We'll try to get a bit of work in. Start with a bit of pads and then just go to some wrestling and grappling positions. So yeah, same old, same old.
Whenever you got one of the Bangtao boys in town, you take advantage of it. Training together in Thailand for definitely a while now. Obviously the Hickman bros, George as well, and all the boys there at Bangtao. Like, we've been training together for a long time, but he's always been a big part of camps. Every time I'm over in Thailand or during camps, bringing him over. Fight week, obviously he's in my corner as well. But just to have him around, obviously the knowledge, he's a high-level wrestler, but he's really spent his last 6-7 years, maybe more, has been MMA specific training, so he understands it. We even call him Frankie Angles because the man actually has got some hands as well, so he understands the game, which is incredible to have that sort of wrestling coach that understands not only understands striking, he understands our striking approach, our ranges, our footwork and all that. So to blend in that wrestling, defense, attack, whatever it is, with our sort of style, because he's been around us for so long, he really gets it. And then not only that, he's one hell of a training partner. Don't tell him I said that, but I mean, he's always, even though he's a coach, wrestling coach, he's one of the main training partners. So he actually does a lot of the striking. He's always the southpaw guy for me. But yeah, he's always doing the rounds. Every time we've got to do them hard workouts, he's doing the wrestling and making sure he's getting your work and working that riding and that folk style. Wrestling is always good to have around because it's not easy. Again, I always say be comfortable being uncomfortable, which is a load of shit. It's accept the uncomfortable. That's how I say it. And this fella's going to get you uncomfortable, so you learn to accept it and deal with it. So.
Frank has become an integral part of this team and the fight camps, the high-level fight camps that we're running over here. And he's just as important part of the team as any other important member of the team. Man, our team it's all about the knowledge, really. It's about the knowledge, and Frank brings a very specialist category or type of knowledge to our coaching team. His background in folk style wrestling and collegiate wrestling at a high level. That's information that we need and that we can't survive in this game without. And we obviously have Andre, who's worked with the boys for many, many years and is our main wrestling coach. And he has his perspective on things, more of a European freestyle background. And then Frank brings the American folk style kind of approach, and then those two are very good friends, so they amalgamate their knowledge together and they work the magic.
Good luck. This is it. That's what the people wanted to see.
Big part of our gym here at City Kickboxing, not only because he's a wrestling coach, but he gels in really nicely with the team. Great teammate. He's always going to be there, always going to give you a round, even though he might have just done 2 or 3 rounds or coached 2 or 3 classes before. He always turn up and make sure that he can give you some work and be a body for you. And he will train with the heavyweights all the way down to the flyweights. And then obviously his wrestling is one of the most high level, techniques and credentials out there. So it's good to have that kind of look when you're fighting these guys that come from, their whole career has been based on wrestling, and then we get that look at our gym where we're City Kickboxing, but we probably have the best wrestling to complement our kickboxing. So it's not by accident that we're finishing fights by knockout, because if they could get us down, they would, but they can't. So that just shows how good of a wrestling coach Frank is, and Andre, obviously, that works closely with Frank. And it's awesome to have them down here, cross, coding. It's all for MMA, and that's the beauty thing about the wrestling that Frank teaches. It's for mixed martial arts wrestling. It's not wrestling to wrestle, And you saw that in the Alex Islam fight, one of the most feared wrestlers in the division in the UFC, and Alex neutralized it and showed that we have wrestling on this side of the world. So.
Here comes the double. If I can stop the head, get to the stomach.
And one thing that Frank always teaches us is wrestling, it's a mindset. If you're giving up position, that's you giving up or quitting. So always moving, always scrambling, and find a way.
Matchmaker, Frank White.
We're going to start out the gate strong with the ducks. Fan room.
Frankie is the fucking Malinois. That's what I call him. Frankie Hickman. He's the dog man's son. And like a Belgian Malinois, just a workhorse. The motherfucker never stops. He will be on you, and he will make you work. And he brings that fire. We're very competitive as well. He's a much better wrestler than me, but I give him some. He'll tell you himself. I give him his work, and he lets me work as well sometimes. But I surprise him sometimes. But having his energy here, having his vibe, he's just part of the team. He just keeps the vibe up, keeps the smiles going.
This one's for 20. It's the last one. It's the last one.
Element of surprise. I was gonna go for a takedown, but I changed it mid-go.
Just everything, you know what I mean? He just carries the whole team, if I'm being honest. Manager, coach, master of angles. There's nothing more I can say about the guy than he's the glue that holds this team together.
I told you. Why the fuck?
Pay attention for a minute. I watch plays.
Monday night, we got training later on, but before that, we were blessed. Israel got the opportunity. He got asked to come to the ceremonial first pitch to the Marlins game. Took advantage of it. Just thrilled to be here.
Go the Marlins! And Marlins!
All the hard work's been done. The miles have been put in, okay? Now we're just keeping them fresh, keeping them sharp, keeping them laughing, Weight's good. Everything's good, brother. It's looking up. Fight week. Train the big fella through some drills. Bit of offense, bit of defense. Wrestling and striking. Pick your poison. It's been good. Now the big fellas are getting ready to do a bit of work. And what could you ask for? Miami, Tuesday. A couple of days out from weigh-ins. Another day out from the fight. And new. Crowd comes back to Auckland by way of Lagos. Can't wait.
That's how we do it. Bangtao. 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 Bangtao Muay Thai. Phuket, Thailand. Fuck everybody else. We the best.
All right, cool. Frankie.
My man.
That's you.